2 weeks ago, career prosecutors in my office, along with the FBI, caused the arrest of an individual by the name of Reza Zarrab'ı, who was a Turkish national of Iranian origin. And he was arrested on charges of evading sanctions against Iran and money laundering. He was arrested while he was coming to vacation in Florida. For reasons that are too complicated and detailed to explain, he was a person of some interest in the country of his citizenship, Turkey. And unbeknownst to me, and of some surprise to me, that got a lot of attention because he'd been arrested at some point earlier in Turkey. Has no bearing on our case, but arrested at some point in Turkey earlier, and those charges were dropped. On the day that we engaged in the arrest, on the day that Mr. Zarrab'ı was arrested in Florida, I had 8,100 Twitter followers. Within 4 days, I had gained 270,000 Twitter followers, virtually all of them from the nation of Turkey. And part of the reason for that was, as there has been widely reported, there's a feeling that corruption is not being dealt with in that country. I'm not going to make any comment on that, but that's a feeling of what was going on there. And the other reason it's been widely reported is that people have not believed that there was a free press there, and so there's a lot more people taking to the freedom of social media. In 2015, Freedom House ranked the press in Turkey as not free. According to Reuters, President Erdogan of Turkey has personally brought more than 1,800 criminal suits against individuals, including journalists and children, for insulting him since becoming president in 2014. The Committee to Protect Journalists, which is an organization that I'm sure many of you know, reports that at least 13 journalists are in jail for their coverage and described a crackdown that includes self-censorship and harassment of media business owners. Now, these are reports from independent parties, other members of the press, about what free press is or is not in other places, including Turkey, as I mentioned. I will just tell you one quick matter based on my own experience from the last couple of weeks. I apparently, and it's hard because I don't understand Turkish very well yet, I've been featured on the cover of newspapers in Turkey with the suggestion that the reason I have brought the case, Preet Bharara, hailing from Punjab, India, grew up in New Jersey, U.S. attorney in Manhattan, because I had been bribed by pro-Turkish government figures who hoped to overthrow the government in Turkey to the tune of $2.5 million. So there have been a lot of silly things written about me in my time as U.S. attorney. I can confirm for all of you that that's the silliest. When I tweeted about this very event, for example, coming to speak to the New York Press Association, I tweeted out simply, it's an honor to come speak to all of you, and I included a quote from Albert Camus, which is as follows, quote, "A free press can, of course, be good or bad, but most certainly, without freedom, the press will never be anything but bad," close quote. Within minutes, that was retweeted 1,500 times and liked, I think, 3,044 times, mostly by people in Turkey. By the way, you should follow me on Twitter at @FreeBharara. All I will say is I'm very proud of what our office does. And there have been a lot of, I got a lot of tweets. I've been offered all manner of delicious Turkish food, including shish kebabs, Turkish delight. And there have been a lot of expressions of love towards me and my office. And I guess what I would say is, I'm not sure that stranger is worthy of another stranger's love, but I do hope that what our office stands for and what our principles are worthy of respect. And what that is, going back to, I know this place was founded in 1834, or what is it? So our office was established in 1789, going back to the founding of the Republic. And what we have stood for since then, and certainly during the time that I remember being in the office and now leaving the office, we believe in the rule of law. We believe that no one is above the law. We don't care how much money you have. We don't care how powerful you are. We don't care how strong you are. We don't care what your connections are. If you've broken the law, and it's in the interest of justice to pursue an investigation and prosecution, and we can prove it, then we're going to do that. And that's what makes me proud of being the U.S. Attorney as a representative of my office in the Justice Department, and proud of the American system of justice. And the only thing I can offer to anybody, whether you're in Turkey or America or Albany or Schenectady or New York City or anywhere, is that we do our jobs without being intimidated by anyone or scared of anyone, only according to the law and the facts, because that's what our oaths require. It has been suggested to me by my new friends in Turkey that I should begin tweeting in Turkish, because most of my followers are now Turkish. So for America to have some parity, I urge you to follow me. Of course, the power of the press is perhaps in no sharper relief, and the power of press collaboration has never been on sharper display than just this week with the release of the so-called Panama Papers. I don't have more to say on that yet, but I will say, when you think about the impact that that has had, and that's been done purely by the press, there's no reason why, if you think creatively and expansively, why a local collaboration about corruption or fraud or fiscal malfeasance is not possible on a smaller scale, right here in New York or some other states.